Yo, what's up, guys? What's happening? It is your boy. Welcome to another reaction. Now, I know it's been a while, but like I mentioned before, got my hands full at the moment. But we are back here again today with an MJV animation. Just a heads up, I will be in the same shirt for like maybe this week because I'm gonna do like 5 videos. Like right now, this is the first one. Anyways, this one is called Disturbing Gorilla Glue Horror Story, and it's by MJV Animations. And it says, warning, the following contains graphic language and images. Now that's what I like. So, this might be good. Y'all wanna grab y'all snacks? I sadly have mine here. It's Ruffles. I've seen this video. It's gonna sound dumb. I've seen this video where you can still lose weight eating whatever you want if you stay under 2,000 calories. So I took these out and I counted the how many calories per chips. This one says 11 chips per serving. You get 150 calories. So I'm gonna try and keep track of my calories, and it's sad, but whatever, man. I gotta try. Anyways, I will try to do gameplays as well. I know most of you guys don't watch them, but I just like to do it because I love video games, I just like to have games on the channel, especially when I'm doing like a webcam like this. Like I'm actually watching one of my videos right now, the GTA Vice City. If you guys haven't seen it yet, make sure you go check that out. Alright, it's a long ass intro. It's 2 minutes already. Alright, you guys ready for this? Lego!
I met Kyle 5 months ago at the gym. I was on the machine that trains your glutes. My phone fell out of my armband and ripped my earphones with it. Kyle ran over from the leg machine to pick it up for me, and we instantly hit it off. I remember the way he looked me up and down. He had piercing green eyes that seemed to stare right through me. When our eyes met, I felt a jolt run through my spine. I've never felt such an attraction to anyone before. The next couple of weeks, we met every day at the gym. We would help each other train. We would flirt, and his confidence and stature would send shivers down my body every time. I was hooked. I was always fiercely independent. I'd left home at 18 and built up my own painting and decorating business. I hated the idea of ever being dependent on anyone or anything. I took pride in being a successful woman in a male-dominated field of work. By the start of 2020, I had 10 full-time employees, 3 apprentices, and work contracts booked that would keep the business busy until October. Kyle had such an effect on me. My pride went out the window whenever I saw him, and I felt myself becoming further drawn into him. By 2 weeks, he was spending time with me at home. We bonded perfectly. It was like we were made for each other. Kyle unofficially moved in after that, and we spent the rest of February and March in a blur of training together at the gym.
You know what that means? Once couples move in together, I guess if you're responsible, unlike me. But either one or two things could happen. Either he abuses her or she ends up pregnant. One of those two.
Spending time at home. Coronavirus hit and lockdown hit harder. All of my domestic contracts had to be suspended, leaving a few commercial business ones to divide between my employees. I furloughed half of them and decided to suspend my own salary and live off savings in a bid to keep the business running. I stayed at home with Kyle, spending a few hours a day on admin at first, but eventually I left that to my most senior employee and spent every hour of my day with Kyle.
See?
April and May flew by. Kyle and I were inseparable. We would wake up together, cook and eat together, clean together, go to sleep together. And by the end of May, we were already planning to tie the knot. I was completely addicted to him. He was infatuated with me. All notion of independence and individualism faded from my minds. I was Kyle's and Kyle was mine. Conversation became few and far between. We seemed to just know what the other wanted to do. The conversation we did have usually involved gushing over each other and laying on compliment after compliment. June passed by even faster. I was screening calls from my employees and clients. I no longer cared for my own business. Kyle was my career now. We were two pieces of a jigsaw that fit perfectly together. You have to understand that even by early June, I wasn't concerned in the slightest. I was perfectly happy, but something happened. Something changed everything. One evening 2 weeks ago, I was cuddling with Kyle in bed. He was playing with my hair and cooing words like, beautiful, hands, stunning, into my ear. He then said to me, I never want to be apart from you. I would...
Let me pause it there. I guess this is a question for the ladies. So, this was a while ago. I used to talk to this girl. And she we dated, but we never made it official. The reason was, we liked each other. We kept, hanging out. I guess the only reason she called it quits is because I was too clingy. Like what this dude's doing. I mean, we didn't get to that point when we moved in. I don't even think I got like a kiss. I think I only kissed her on the forehead because I didn't want to rush into things. I'm not that type of person. But yeah, I would probably call her beautiful every time I seen her. I think I got her flowers a couple times. But I didn't get to the point where I'd say I can't be separated from you. I didn't get to that point. But she said I was too clingy, so then she called it off. Like, is that a thing? I could kind of see it right now. It could get annoying. But let me know, ladies. Is that a no for you? Because believe it or not, I've known some girls that like to get treated bad. Which, I don't know. And then they get surprised why they get abused and shit. I don't know. Let me know, though.
Was together if I could. I let out a happy sigh and agreed with it. I said, I'd love to be stuck with you forever. We could stay snuggling for the rest of our lives. I looked up at Kyle and his piercing green eyes.
That's not gonna pay the bills.
I smiled and Kyle grinned, and then we both sighed in unison. And soon I was drifting off into sleep. I woke up around dawn. I couldn't move. Kyle was wrapped around me, spooning me. I tried to wriggle free just a bit to stretch my arms and legs, and I could not move. This was weird, I thought. Kyle was holding me, sure, but he wasn't grabbing me in a vice grip. I tried to move again, this time with more effort.
The hell's that?
Fuck! I had screeched. My skin had pulled and torn around my neck.
What the
I remembered my body suddenly filling with adrenaline and anxiety. Kyle? Kyle, wake up! What's going on? I'd shakenly shouted out. Kyle calmly whispered in my ear. Shh, baby. We're glued together, remember?
What the?
Just like you said you wanted. My eyes widened. The adrenaline already coursing through my body increased tenfold. All the obsession and addiction I felt towards this man just fell away from my brain. I screamed, What the actual hell, Kyle? You glued us together? Again, Kyle replied in a whimsical whisper. Yeah, baby girl. Isn't it wonderful? You had some Gorilla Glue in your work things. I just made our wish come true. Time stood still for me, where I once thought the sun shined out of Kyle.
This is crazy.
All I could think was how much of a weirdo psychopath he was.
For real.
I tried to pull free from Kyle.
Ugh.
My skin pulled, and again it tore around my neck and parts of my body. Blood had started to trickle down, and I instinctively moved an arm to scratch the itch I had caused. This was a bad mistake. My arm felt like someone was pulling at my skin with 1,000 tweezers. It would not bulge. I screamed again. Fuck! I managed to turn my head just enough to look back at Kyle. His face was contorted into a forced teethy grin.
For real.
His skin looked pale in the morning sunlight. His eyes were wide open.
How is he not in pain though? He's just chilling. Look at his face. He's not in pain. This dude's crazy.
I swear, he didn't blink at all. Beautiful. He whispered from his stretched out mouth, his eyes drilling into mine. This man was insane. I screamed. I took a breath. I screamed again. My body was going into shock. My body started to shake. Again, that was such a mistake. Pain erupted all over my skin as 1,000 tweezer pinches became 100,000. This was shock I needed though. The pain had set something off in my brain. I knew that I needed to get free of him. I also knew how painful it was going to be. I began with my arms. I started off slowly trying to pull them away from him. My skin was so tightly stuck together. The pain was so immense.
Didn't you already do that though?
I kept going. I had to get away from this ghoul of a man. I pulled harder and harder until the top layer of the skin peeled off, and my left arm was free. I screeched out in agony. I could hear Kyle whispering behind me again. Stunning. The hairs on the back of the part of my neck that wasn't glued stood to attention. It was like I was in a nightmare, and some demon was conjured in my dreams right behind me. I pushed on and pulled my right arm free, screaming the whole time. Blood was pouring out of my arms.
Yo, okay. So, how I told you, how my daughter was just born, and my lady was in the hospital with all the IVs and shit. Like, just what I can't do needles, period. But the fact that you see tape, when they put the little cotton shit and then put a taper on it to prevent you from bleeding. I can't even do that, so I could only imagine. It, by the looks of it, looks like her whole arm and leg. Pretty much everything is glued to this guy. I wouldn't be able to just come off of that. I mean, depends. By the looks of the video, it looks like her life depends on it. So I guess if that was the point, then maybe. But I'd be screaming too. Eesh.
I jerked my head forward in determination, and the rest of my neck peeled away from Kyle's chest.
Oh no.
I couldn't begin to fathom why Kyle wasn't crying out in pain. I was ripping away as much of his skin as I was mine. As I began to focus on my legs,
That's what I'm saying.
I felt something wet slide down my neck.
Blood.
Then I heard a slurp and lips smacking together. Thirsty. Nope. I'd screamed in my head. I went for it and ripped my legs away from his in one clean motion. Pain isn't the word for what I'd felt. I don't know how much glue Kyle had used on her legs, but the skin tore apart so much that I could see patches of muscle glistening, the blood that was streaming out. I passed out. I came to as my body jolted around. Kyle had picked me up and taken me.
And he's just chilling though. Look how crazy he looks.
What are you doing? Kyle replied, again as calm as anything. We need more glue. No. I turned my head again to look at him. His teethy grin seemed even wider. His eyes had turned bloodshot with the veins tingling together towards his bright green irises. His breath smelt of blood, my blood. In a desperate attempt to get away.
How do you know it's his blood? I mean, your blood. I mean, yeah, you bled on him, but he was bleeding too. I'm pretty sure all blood smells the same.
I jerked my body weight forward. I felt a searing pain down my back.
Oh.
I'd just been flogged with a million whips. I fell face first onto the floor, with Kyle on top of me.
Hell no.
As we fell,
That had to hurt.
bone crunching crack. Kyle? Kyle? I felt around his body as much as my arms could maneuver, but Kyle wasn't moving.
Dead.
I noticed a trickle of blood stream past my face.
Ugh.
As I realized Kyle must have hit his head on something on the way down.
Good.
I used all my strength to lift us both up. As my back lifted up, I suddenly felt a lot lighter. Kyle's body had slumped off me. I was free, bleeding profusely from my back and all parts of my body, and feeling more and more lightheaded. I managed to stumble across to the front door and unlock it. I turned around briefly to look at Kyle, his body lifeless.
And he's still smiling.
Grin and wide-eyed expression still stuck on his face. I opened the front door, tumbled out into the fresh air, bloody. I ran as fast as I could for a good 10 minutes.
How could you run after that?
Desperately searching for anyone who could help me. I stopped to catch my breath. The sudden cold morning breeze stung every millimeter of my skin. When I let out a guttural, animalistic cry as I fell to the pavement. Before I passed out again, I saw a woman and a dog walk towards me. A wave of relief rushed through my body as my brain shut down. Apparently, the woman with the dog called for an ambulance, and I spent a week in a hospital in an induced medical coma to help heal my skin and shield me from the pain. I've been awake and relatively lucid for the past few days. I'm on heavy painkillers, and my whole body is pretty much bandaged up, but I'm doing okay considering. I asked about Kyle when I woke up, but they didn't know who I was talking about. I've been unconscious since arriving at the hospital. They rang the police for me, and I gave them a short statement and permission to enter my house. They came back to my hospital room the next day with news that no body had been found, but they did see blood all over the floor and walls. They've made inquiries around other hospitals in the area, just in case a man of Kyle's description and injuries have been taken in, but I've not heard anything back yet.
Okay, never mind. I was gonna say they should at least know who he is. Because I was gonna say if they didn't, they could just take that blood. I'm pretty sure his blood is in there. Then do a DNA. I don't think it will matter though. But I mean, they know he's real, so I don't think that DNA matters.
Counselor in full PPE gear dropped by earlier today to talk with me. I shared my story with her as best as I could. She told me that what I've gone through, it sounded like obsessive love disorder, OLD, which me and Kyle had both developed.
Yep.
She said it sounded like Kyle had developed a form of psychosis on top of the OLD, but she couldn't say for certain. Perhaps he'd always been suffering with mental health, and I just didn't know. Or maybe his OLD had become so severe that it caused a psychotic episode. I don't know.
That one looks crazy. I think that Chick-fil-A, the 3 True Chick-fil-A's, I'm gonna do that one next. Well, yeah, that was creepy, but that's like obsessed. The skin ripping off. Fuck. Whew. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna do that Chick-fil-A next. I don't know if it's gonna be right after this one, but you're gonna see me in the same clothes. I'm debating if I should do a Scary Fridays, because I don't know if I have a lot of time to edit all these videos. So, like I said, I haven't really uploaded in a week. I mean, I did a little Nightmares gameplay. If you guys want to go check it out, if you guys like games, that's a creepy game, so it's pretty cool. I want to finish it, but like I said, there's a lot of things I want to do. I haven't really done YouTube stuff much. Yeah, I don't have much to say. Well, like I said before, I'm gonna upload whenever I get a chance, so bear with me. If you guys enjoyed this video, you want to see more, make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.